guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm checking out the don'ts of visiting New Orleans. This is Walter's World. His links are in the description as always. I feel like we checked one out recently of his videos, but it has been, I want to say like a year since we've probably sat down and watched his videos, other than that one the other day. And I think it was only me anyway. And it's only me again, so that's irrelevant. Yeah, I'm excited. They're always informational. New Orleans is definitely on the list of places to visit, so let's check out what we shouldn't do if we go there. If you could like and subscribe, that would be amazing, and let's go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in New Orleans, Louisiana for the don'ts of visiting New Orleans. And no, it's not just Mardi Gras here. You can enjoy New Orleans almost all year round. And so what we're going to do is talk about those don'ts today. And the first don't I have for you for when you come to New Orleans is know that you don't call it Nolens, you don't call it New Orleans, it's New Orleans. New Orleans. Think of it this way. It's like new, and then or, like what you row a boat with, and then lens, like a camera lens. That's how you say it.
New Orleans.
And you put the emphasis on that or, okay? So that's what you need to know. That's the first step, okay? Know how to say the name right. New Orleans, all right? Now, my second don't for you is don't worry too much about the liquor laws here. Look, you can walk around New Orleans with your alcohol, drinking your beer or your hurricane or your hand grenade or whatever you're drinking. You can walk around with that, okay? So don't worry about that. But what you need to know is don't walk around with glass bottles. You have to have it in a plastic cup. Otherwise, the coppers will tell you either throw it away, or if you don't, you could get a ticket. So you do want to be careful with that. But in general, don't worry too much about the open liquor laws here, because you can walk around and enjoy your drink and go and check out the music and all the different places, okay?
That makes sense, because I feel like in a lot of places, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of places there actually is a law where you can't walk around with alcohol. I feel like I've seen that before in one of these videos. Yeah, it makes sense only having it in a plastic cup, because obviously if you drop it, there's that whole issue of glass and who's going to clean that up. And obviously people might get hurt, so it makes sense.
Stone for you is if you are going to be imbibing quite a bit, what you do when you're here is don't pee in public. Look, when you're walking on Bourbon Street, you might smell like, well, not everyone follows your directions, Mark. No, not everyone does. But the thing is, if you pee in public, you can get a ticket as well. And I don't think you want to have an arrest record part of your, one of your souvenirs you want to get when you come here. So don't do that. The bars and stuff, they all have restrooms. Sometimes there might be an attendant. I know in the guys' room at night, on the weekends there have been. You might tip them $1 or something like that. But just know, don't pee in public. Another don't I have for you is don't bare your breasts for beads. Look, but the thing is realize that there's two things you want to know. One, if you do that, be ready to have them spread all over the internet, because I saw a few people doing that last night where they were doing it. There's like 7 other people taking pictures of them doing it, okay? So that's one thing. A second thing is if you bare your breasts outside the French Quarter, in the French Quarter, things are pretty laid back and they let things slide. But you get out of the French Quarter, that's called an act of lewdness. That's public nudity. You can be arrested for that, okay?
Oh, it's not actual, it's an actual thing. I thought it was just a figure of speech or something. Like, okay, wow.
So just know that, just don't bare your breasts for beads. You can go buy them at Walgreens. And the thing is this all leads into my next don't is don't think New Orleans is just the French Quarter. I know when you watch the Mardi Gras stuff, they just show the French Quarter. Hey, there's no parades here in the French Quarter during Mardi Gras, by the way. That's on St. Charles Avenue. That's over that way. Look, New Orleans has so much to see. You like history? The National World War II Museum is here. Blocks of history. See the letters that moms and kids wrote back to their parents from the war, the battlements, their accoutrement, everything they had. It's a very moving, very huge, huge museum, well worth checking out. Go out to NOMA, the New Orleans Museum of Art at City Park. It's got a fantastic collection. Oh, you're like, well, I'm coming with my kids. Don't worry about that. The Aquarium of the Americas, the Audubon Zoo, there's a ton of stuff here to see besides hitting the French Quarter. Now, don't get me wrong, walking around the French Quarter is so cool because you have this beautiful architecture you can see, and yes, it's good for a party and lots of great restaurants, but don't think New Orleans is just the French Quarter. It's a very tiny part of a very big city. And leading off to that one is don't stay in the French Quarter. Don't get a hotel in the French Quarter, because I'll be honest, this gets loud and rowdy pretty much every night of the year. We're here and it's actually, they're setting records for the coldest nights, okay? And it's freezing. Like I have my winter coat down there, but the bars are still packed. People are still out partying, having a good time, going crazy.
Considering it's freezing, it is completely blue, clear sky. It looks amazing. I'd have thought that was summer if like he didn't mention that, because it looks beautiful.
That loudness really makes it so it's not really enjoyable sometimes to stay in the French Quarter, so you might want to stay just a little bit outside. On the other side of Canal Street, go stay in the Central Business District or downtown or someplace that can really, one, cut down the price a lot, but also cut down the noise and cut down some of the stuff like that. So just a heads up for that one. And the thing is when you come here, you might be driving in here, and I'm going to tell you right now, don't drive in New Orleans. Don't.
Right.
To all plus size
why?
women. Ready?
Everyone said that about LA for us, but James absolutely smashed the driving in LA. So I wonder why he's gonna say don't drive in New Orleans. Is it? I guess. Oh, the horse and carriage. That's so cute. Yeah.
Don't. It is such a pain, and the biggest pain is finding parking. Not just paying for parking and other things, but just finding parking. It is really, really tough. So what I recommend, if you're driving in, do the valet, have them park your car and leave it. And yes, the valet, $30 a day, $40 a day, something like that. Just pay it, leave it, and don't worry about it. Because what's cool is you can get around town relatively easily. You know, if you like your Uber and Lyft and taxis and stuff like that, that's no problem here. Also, they got the streetcars to take. That's one thing I've been doing. I come out of my hotel, walk down Canal Street, grab the streetcar there. $1.25, I'm down here at Jackson Square, no problem. So do that, use that around. Because taking the streetcar through the Garden District, yes, you'll see beautiful homes there as well. I mean, definitely go through the Garden District to see the homes there. But you can take the streetcar to do that and leave the car out of it. Because, man, driving in New Orleans will drive you crazy. My next stone actually goes from that, is when you do park your car, don't leave anything visible, okay? New Orleans is not exactly the safest city in the world, okay? But, I mean, it's not horrible, but you gotta be careful. And even if you're gonna be valet parking or leaving your car somewhere, that doesn't mean it's gonna be safe. Make sure, one, it's locked, but nothing is visible. So
I think that's pretty, like, common nowadays anyway, to, like, don't leave anything on display and make sure you lock your car. Obviously, in some places, it'll be fine. Like, in Jersey, I would say you're probably okay, 9 times out of 10. But like when we go to England and stuff, we always put like a blanket over the boot and things like that so that you can't see in and all that stuff.
Take everything with you that you need, take it to your hotel, put it in there, or hide it or put it away so people can't see it, because you don't want to give somebody a reason just to break the window and take your stuff. Don't leave anything out that way, okay? And I guess that kind of leads into my don't be complacent when you do go out to New Orleans. Look, there's a lot of people that come here, a lot of tourists, a lot of drinking, and so you will see, I mean, we saw a bunch of fights last night, people running around. You don't have a lot of pickpocketing in the U.S., but you do see some of that here, so you got to pay attention. Wallet in your front pocket, make sure you're paying attention. If you think, hey, I think those two guys are gonna fight, believe me, they're going to, and the bouncers are gonna throw their butts out, and if you're between the door and that fight, you might get caught up in it. So don't be complacent when you're here. Another don't I have for you is when someone comes up to you and says, hey, I bet you I know where you got those shoes, do not fall for that guy, okay? Because what he's gonna tell you is, oh, I bet you $10 I can tell you where you got those shoes. You're like, oh, they'll never know. I got these in Lisbon, so they'll never know, ha, ha, ha. Then the guy will go, you got those shoes on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, Louisiana. Give me $10. You're like, what? And then they'll harass you. Just say, hey, I'm a local man. I got them here in New Orleans. Just say that and walk away, all right? Because I've seen a number of tourists getting harassed.
I don't know that I'm gonna be able to say I'm a local with my accent. I'm not sure they're gonna take me, but okay. Similar to New York, I guess, kind of vibes. Like in Times Square, you got like the I don't know, selling CDs and stuff like that. It's kind of similar.
Those guys, my buddy that's here with me, he got 3 people to ask him within like 3 blocks. It was hilarious because I'm just laughing, walking in front of him. He's like, what are they? I'm like, dude, just tell them you're local. Tell them you got your shoes in New Orleans. Just do that, okay? Don't let them get to you.
The first signs of sciatic nerve.
Yeah, this was in New York. They were quite pushy. They actually followed us down the street a little bit, which was kind of creepy. And we were like just 18, so kind of scary. But I think once you kind of just learn to just ignore or walk past and just say like, no, like don't give in to their ideas, then hopefully they'll leave you alone.
Remember at the beginning of the video I said New Orleans is a great place to visit most of the year? Well, our next don't is specifically dealing with those months you don't come here, and that is don't come in July and August. Look, New Orleans is in a swamp, guys, okay? So what is it like in a swamp? It's hot, it's muggy and gross. Well, guess what New Orleans is in July and August? It's hot and muggy and gross. I mean, your sweat is sweating when you are here. So I do not recommend coming in July and August. It's just too hot and too miserable to be here. Otherwise, you'll be fine. I mean, it's a great place to come the rest of the year. That's why there's tons of conferences and parties and festivals here. I mean, it's not just Mardi Gras, Jazz Fest, French Quarter Festival. I've been to all of them, man. It is an awesome time. And the thing is just just don't come in July and August, okay? I love New Orleans, but for you, me, don't. And if you do come, don't complain about the heat and the humidity in July and August, because you came to the city in a swamp in July and August, okay? So I'm just gonna get that one out there for you.
Yeah, you don't get the right to complain.
And the thing
if
is,
you've
what's
done it
cool
on
about New
purpose.
Orleans, you don't have to be concerned with being a tourist. This city is really geared for tourism. There's tons of tours, whether you want to go to the cemetery or go on a swamp tour or go to some of the plantations, a city walking tour, a garden district tour. There's so much tourism things here set up for you that it's really great. Hotels, restaurants, bars, tours, all those things, and it's a fantastic thing. So it's okay to be a tourist, and they get millions of tourists a year coming here, so you can kick back and be that tourist. You don't have to feel like, oh, how do I fit in when I'm here? Look, there's so many tourists here, everybody fits in, so you can really relax when you come here. That's why people enjoy it. It's the laissez-faire attitude of the people in New Orleans of, hey, you be you, I'll be me, let's have a good time, all right? And leading off of that is don't screw over your tour guide when you do come here. What you need to know is there are some rules for the tour guides. You know, they can't let their tour groups block the sidewalk because they could get a fine. The tour guide, they can walk in the street, but the tour group can't, so stay on the sidewalk. Otherwise, they can get a fine, so do have a heads up for that one. And there's so much service industry here. A lot of people actually work on tips, so don't forget to tip. We actually had a number of bartenders tell us that a lot of the
quite
tours
similar for the whole of the US, is it? Isn't it? Like, let me know in the comments below.
Come here to party and stuff like that, they don't tip at all. So make sure you are tipping, because the waiter and the waitress and the bartenders and stuff like that and the bands, they're making their money off of tips. So be generous with your tipping, because it makes a difference for them, okay? And I know a lot of people come down, I'm drinking, no, they're never gonna remember me. Remember, if you're at that bar, they will remember you if you tip, which means they'll come to you first before the other people, okay? So just a heads up on that one. Now, my next don't for you is don't screw with the cops and don't screw with their horses. Look, the police in New Orleans are super helpful, and they're also super professional. So if you have a question, you don't know where to go, or you're worried, just go talk to them. They'll be walking around the French Quarter, they're around town, you will see them. And don't be afraid to talk to them and ask them for help, but don't mess with them. If your buddy's getting into a fight or somebody picked on them and they're fighting, don't be like, hey, cop, that was my buddy, didn't start it. Cops don't care, they'll take your butt down too, all right? So don't mess with the cops and don't mess with their horses, because you'll regret it, okay? So just don't. Now, one of the things you might see the cops doing is helping people that may have had too much to drink. And one thing I've always seen every time I've come here, don't be surprised if you don't see somebody crying or puking or crying and puking when you are here.
Oh, wow.
So don't get puked on. Look, I've got one more day here in New Orleans, and I have not got puked on yet. I'm okay. Last time I was here, Liam got me, okay? But this it's one of the few times I've come here and no one's puked on me yet. So do watch out, because people do get really drunk at night here in the French Quarter. So do have a heads up with that, all right? So do be careful with that. Now, my next don't for you is don't get in a hurry. Look, in Louisiana and the South in general, things go a little slower. New Orleans is no different than that. You may think, oh, big city, hustle bustle. No.
It does give like chill vibes. It does.
Take it easy. It's called the Big Easy, remember? Just take it easy, relax. So service, getting your beer, things getting done, all these kind of things, just know it takes a little bit more time. That's why the streetcar is perfect. It slowly goes through town, because that's how things work here. So don't get in a hurry. And getting upset and telling people to hurry up, actually I think makes them actually go slower. So just be ready for it. Just take it easy here at the Big Easy, okay? And one of the things you're going to want to take slow is the eating. And so my next don't for you is don't come to New Orleans when you're on a diet. Look, the food here is fantastic. Crawfish, etouffee, yes, it's crawfish, not crayfish, not crawdads, it's crawfish, okay? Crawfish etouffee is fantastic. Jambalaya, gumbo, oysters. Oh, char-grilled oysters here? Oh my God, they're so good. Having beignets at Café du Monde, something you don't forget to do. Yes, you have beignets, are these little donut things, man, with powdered sugar all over them. Yes. Oh, the drinking, yes, that adds calories too. The goldfish, there's so much fantastic food and drink to have here. Yes, go to Pat O'Brien's and have your hurricane, which is like this much rum and then whatever the coloring is. But you will pack on some pounds when you're here, so don't come on a diet. Don't pretend you're on a diet. Just say, you know what? I'm going to New Orleans. The diet can start again on Monday. All right? And another don't I have for you is don't be scared to bring the kids.
I've created my dream dining.
Because I was thinking, until he said that, to be fair, I was thinking, like, with all the, like, him talking about, like, the party atmosphere, and, like, the drinking and things at night, I was thinking, oh, maybe we should wait for Archie to be older. So I'll be interested to see what he has to say about this.
The French Quarter at night, you don't bring your kids. But until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can bring your kids to the French Quarter, no problem. And the rest of the city is very kid-friendly with the aquarium and the Audubon Zoo and the city park and all kinds of stuff and the cool architecture. And there's tours and stuff like that. Go into the Garden District. There's a children's museum here, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of people think, oh no, New Orleans is only for adults. No, it's not just for adults. They actually have a lot of really great kid stuff. And what shocks people when they come here at Mardi Gras, when you go to the parades, you see families there. Yes,
okay.
New Orleans can be family friendly. Now, Bourbon Street after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to say no, it's not. But otherwise, don't forget to bring the kids when you come here. We had a great time with our kids when we came here last time. And I mean, I say, why not bring them? Now, another don't I have for you is if you're going to be here for a weekend and there's restaurants you want to go to, don't forget to make reservations for dinner because there's so many tourists that come here.
Busy.
You might wait in line for an hour or so to get into a restaurant. So there's ones you really want to get into. Make that reservation before you come.
That's
so it's
a good
set
thing
up.
to know.
And if you're going to be coming at Mardi Gras time and stuff like that or any of the festivals, definitely reserve a way in advance. Otherwise, you might be, you know, don't get me wrong, eating a po' boy on the street's not bad, but you probably want to go in and have some char-grilled oysters or something like that. So we're almost done. Don't worry, I know this is kind of a long don't list, but I want you guys to have a great time. My next don't for you is don't overdo it on your first night. Look, when you come here, you're going to want to party it up and eat it up, and you're going to get so full and then so full that the next day it might be miserable. So the first day, take it a bit easier, or at least plan not to do anything the next day, your second day here, because I see a lot of people not enjoying the city because they're so hungover from their first night. Okay, so do be careful on that.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin your holiday by being hungover.
Is don't forget to bring cash and don't forget to have an ID with you. Look, if you look under 30, they probably will card you when you're going to the bars, especially on Bourbon Street. So have your ID, have it ready. Also, you want to have cash around here, not just for tipping people, but for buying a beer here and there, getting your stuff. It's just easier to have cash. And again, remember, keep your wallet in your front pocket if you do have your cash, just for safety's sake, all right? So I hope this helped you know what not to do or don't do.
That was good. That was good. There's lots to do in New Orleans. I did not know there was like, it was that like, I guess, broad, the amount of things that you can do. Definitely somewhere you want to check out, and glad to know that we could bring Archie along too. Smash the like button, guys, smash the subscribe button. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one.